Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Jmar Wellness Solutions. And this one's a special one because it's a last minute one. Dr. Starkey, I reached out to him and I said, hey, can you come on and let's calm some people's fears? We've got something going on right now in the world that we've never had go on. We've had disease and we've had viruses, but we've never had everything shut down. And so Dr. Starkey took time out of his busy schedule, hanging out with his family, and to come on and speak to us and speak peace into our life, speak joy into our life, and speak, just knowledge so that we can calm our fears. I think that's powerful, don't you?
I do. I think that one, we have to go back to the basics right now. We're forced to going back to the basics. And one of the most basic aspects of fear is breathing. We've got to breathe right now. We've got to think about, let's put everything aside. Let's put the fear aside and let's go back to common sense thinking right now. And breathing and hydrating should be the two top points of interest right now.
So good, because those are so simple. I think we are overcomplicated. Everything's been overcomplicated, and toilet paper does not cure the corona or COVID-19, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't kill any virus. I mean, it is important and we do want hygiene, but it doesn't, right now, the only solution that everyone has is to quarantine and stay away from everybody and then wash your hands. And it's like, those are good things. And you and I talked about that for hopping on. And let's start with that because I believe that there's so many people right now just listening that are sitting in a home with their family, which I think is an awesome thing. Now, if you're not watching this on YouTube, I'm wearing a shirt called it says happy today because, man, the joy of the Lord is your strength, people. And so let's just understand that this is a really awesome opportunity to be together with your family and loved ones and not look at it as a negative, right? What were you saying about that?
I find it interesting that, we've been doing this for how many years? Between the two of us, we've probably got, 70 years plus
You're a lot older
in the
than
industry. And I'll take most of that upon myself because you look good for 29.
Oh, yes.
But, I find it interesting that, especially for men, this is our moment of silence that I never thought would ever occur, that March Madness and golf, the PGA and the NBA and the NASCAR all taken off the air. It gives us opportunities to sit in silence and kind of do a self-evaluation. I think that this is a great interest for me because we've been trying to talk above the noise, and now the noise has been taken away from us, and now it comes back to the basics. And I can't, to me personally, breathing techniques, wonderful way of calming that mind and calming the body. But remember, hydration right now, especially with this COVID-19, we know that it's attacking the lungs, but what a better way. And everybody's looking for the magic button and the magic pill and the magic potion and remember, there's no magic. But what we've been designed with and what we have the capabilities of is starting with water.
Yeah.
Water is our life force.
Yes.
And yet at the same time, I would go just a step further, that keep drinking those waters that you're most comfortable with, that you feel protected by drinking. But I would say, let's take it a step further right now. And that is to add those essential electrolytes back to that water, because remember, we were not designed to live on bottled, filtered, distilled RO water.
Right.
That we've removed all the the contaminants, yes, but we've removed all the minerals too.
Mm-hmm. And the minerals is the energy, is the life source, is what gives that's what repairs lungs. That's what keeps lungs healthy. And people don't even understand that or know it because nobody teaches that. And that's why I wanted to have you on, because it's so simple. It's so inexpensive. And I mean, I just started my company and it was to go and help, keep the labor worker hydrated and the first responders, right? And so I just launched that, and then this whole thing happens. And so I've taken a direction where I'm like, okay, you know what? I trust God and everything. And I have all of this product. I have all of these electrolytes and minerals that I can, get out to the public because I have it already. I had it launched to go to businesses, but now I'm kind of redirecting during this time because I feel like it's a calling, because it's so simple, it's so inexpensive, and it's so easy. You just add it to what you're already doing, and
Correct.
you're drinking water. Now, if you add minerals to it, you're going to give your body the I guess what the ability to fight off disease, I
The
believe.
conductivity, the communication, the energy that we need. That's what these electrolytes do. You know, one thing that I find interesting, and this is a great time to point out the fact that, remember, 90% of our, our brain is water, along with our lungs. I always find that fascinating that those two, and of course those numbers can differ from, research to research, but remember 90% of our lungs is water. And yet what scares me today, and I think that this is an interest that we have to take serious. I think it's just as serious as taking the virus, is that 75% of our society is deemed chronically dehydrated.
Yeah.
So in this case, what that screams to me is that our lungs are not prepared for
Mm-hmm.
this virus because we're so dehydrated.
Yes.
But if we can hydrate that body properly, and we can, put that foundational balance back into that water,
Mm-hmm.
I think that we have a 1-2 combination that, again, we are here to, we shouldn't be fearful. I go back to the same thing that has been mentioned, I don't know how many times, and I think it's cliche now, but, food should be our medicine.
Yes.
And a part of food right now, I would put water as a part of one of the food groups, because we just don't drink enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that if we take just the basics, and I'm going to keep it very basic here, but you think about this, if we take our body weight and we half it, because everybody is so unique and so different, and one doesn't fit all. But I would say that the way that I like to answer the question when people say, well, how much water should I be drinking right now? I would say that, again, half your body weight in ounces of water daily should be a minimum.
Mm-hmm.
So put aside, I think we make it so complex and so sophisticated and so confusing to people that we don't start. And yet I think today is a fantastic day to just start. If you don't like drinking water, spice it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Put a little bit of lemon or put a little fruit, and I would say that going a step further with that, we could do, I would tell the listener that we should be eating hydrating foods right now.
Mm-hmm.
Fruits and vegetables, live fruits and vegetables. Stay away from cans. And yes, I understand that we have to have a 2-week storage, and we have to have food that maintains itself. But I would say shop the outside aisles of the store right now. Make sure that you're getting those good hydrating foods so that we can protect our bodies from dehydration. Because remember, dehydration, I believe, when we're dehydrated, our lungs, that mucus lining in our lungs becomes sticky.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is the perfect breeding ground for what we're facing right now, because if we can flush those lungs and remember, water is a great detoxifier.
Yeah.
If we can flush those lungs and keep those lungs fluid and keep those lungs functioning the way that they're intended, we should not have a sticky condition. And of course, we know that with that sticky condition, that is the breeding ground for most dysfunctions. And if we're not,
that's what this electrolyte concentrate has in it. That this is the one that I use with my company, with the Endure.
Yep.
It's clean. It's not sticky. It doesn't have sugars. It's just literally your body absorbs it. That's why it works so quickly, and it just gets the body flushed out with it and clean like this. We don't clean our hair with juice. We don't rinse our hair with juice. We rinse it with water, right? And
right.
So when you put something like this in your water, you're going to be able to clean your body out and keep your lungs from being sticky, like you said. That's so good. I've never heard of it like that.
So here's what typically happens is that once we create that environment where the inner mucus becomes sticky, of course, that can breed into just a plethora of different health conditions in the lungs. Bronchitis is one that, again, starts with a cough, right? The body's trying to expel that waste, that excess mucus, but can't because it's sticky. So there's a lot of things out there that, for instance, asthma is another one, that these underlying issues that most people are fearful of. Remember, we have tools in our our health toolbox that are so basic, just like you said, and so simple that most people overlook it completely and say, too simple, too basic, can't work for me. Let's give it what do we have to lose right now? We
Right.
have,
I mean, it's so inexpensive too, right? And here's the
yes.
thing about, I'm glad you brought that asthma up, because when my daughter was little, she was starting in sports, and it was around 5th grade. We went to the doctor and they're like, oh, we think she has athletic induced asthma. And I was like, that just didn't feel right to me. And they wanted to put her on an inhaler. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And I used these products. I used minerals to build her lung strength back up. And a pharmacist was the one who told me, he said, if you want to do what your natural stuff, you do that. He's like, you can always fill the prescription. And we never did. And I really believe that we were able to build her strength up the right way, get her hydrated, get the minerals in her body that her body can use to heal those lungs and make them strong. And here we are today. She's going to be 22 this year, and she's never had to do any kind of inhaler or anything of the sort. And so it's so, what you said, it's so true. You gotta be hydrated. You gotta have those minerals in your body to let your body heal and repair tissue. I believe minerals, like when I use them with athletes, that's why I started my company. What was I trying to do? I was trying to get them to repair quicker, right? When I tear them down, and the faster we can get them to restore and repair, the faster they can get the results they want, and the better they are against the who they're going up against, right? And so that's because of minerals.
Oh, absolutely. I think that foundation, I mean, does it really matter if you stop to think about what we're talking about today is just the basic fundamental foundation of our health? Does it really matter what we decorate with or what we construct with if our foundations are crumbling? We can bring all the cement to the job site we want because we're bringing tremendous amounts of supplements and nutrients of all types, right? Mm-hmm. We're bringing, all types of drugs to the playing field. But if we don't put the water in conjunction with it, what do we have? I mean, it's dry, useless, gray dirt. We have to put the water in to keep that, that's what creates that, to me, that cement, that patchwork for our foundation so that we, our immune systems function better, our minds function better. Remember, when we're dehydrated, our body functions have to, our brain shrinks so we get foggy minded, or, we can't think clear. Our heart has to work harder. All of our organs have to work harder when we're dehydrated. So in this case, you throw fear. I think, Jennifer, I think that this virus is going to cause more emotional disturbance in our health. And remember, they don't call that the silent killer for nothing.
Right.
But I think that, in the end, yes, everything we're doing right now, everything that the government's doing, everything that the businesses are doing is a proactive, stance, which I think is fantastic. But at the same time, if we're not doing our parts individually, we have the opportunity to change our nation one individual choice at a time. And that individual starts with us.
It does. And it's just understanding what fear and anxiety and all those things do to your body. It literally leaches out minerals out of your body. I've seen studies done on that I did a post on it the other day where it was sugar takes minerals out of your body and anything good, right? And it puts you in an acidic place. But they say that stress is even worse than sugar. That blew my mind. I was like, that's crazy. And what do you know Americans are doing right now? They're stressed about their finances. They're stressed about their health. They're stressed about, what's going to happen.
Their parents, their children.
Yes, they're concerned about their kids. And all of that just makes a huge breeding ground for more disease in the body. So if you have some solutions like we're trying to give people today, and they're simple, why not do it to just guard your body? And to me, it's it's simple. I'm a simple person. I'm not a very, educated person. I'm not as smart as you, Dr. Starkey.
Not true. Time and experience will tell you otherwise, right?
Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm not a scientist. But to me, simple is easy. Like all I have to do is just add some drops to my kids' water and they're going to be more able to defend against any kind of disease. I'm doing it, because it's simple.
So think about this real quick. So right now with this concern, especially from a dehydration standpoint, remember our bodies will convert certain amino acids such as histidine into histamine. So then the allergic reaction takes place, and then all of a sudden there again is a chronic health problem that we start feeling like we're short of breath, and we start thinking, I have the coronavirus, I have this symptom, this is no, no, no. That is your natural body response to try to produce so that it can protect. And yet at the same time, we can support by hydrating and balancing and keeping the body at that proper balanced state so that it doesn't go into this this protective
Mm-hmm.
response. And what do we do in the end? By just drinking and balancing our body daily with good hydration and good mineralization, we produce the body's ability to cope and to deal and to recover, and it doesn't cost but pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, exactly. I read a study, and I don't know if it's true or not. Maybe you can validate it. That vitamins, we all take vitamin. Well, not everybody, but people believe in vitamins and antioxidants and things like that, which are real important, I feel like, to your immune system. But they don't work in the body if you're mineral deficient. Is that true? I've heard
Very
that.
true.
I saw a study. I think it might have been something I read. I mean, gosh, I've been reading so much online, I can't keep it straight. But is that true that like you have to, because I feel like it is, I do know.
So there was a doctor by the doctor, and we reference this quite. There was a doctor by the name of Dr. Northern, Charles Northern, and he was the one that basically came out with the concept of soil deficiency, leading to a lot of our deficiencies today and a lot of our health challenges. But he basically referenced that is that we can take all the vitamins we want, we can take all the macro minerals and all the enzymes and amino acids, yet they're all important, but without that proper mineral balance in our bodies, which, think about this for a minute, Jennifer, these minerals come from the air that we breathe, the water that we would drink. Because again, going back to that, we were designed to drink groundwater, spring water, creek water, river water. I guarantee you wouldn't have a desire to go to your local creek right now and take a big cup and dip it and say, there's my minerals for the day, right? We're scared of our environment, but yet at the same time, going back to our foods right now, a lot of our foods are not coming from the soil. They're coming from boxes and cans. And, so my point to that is that if we do our part, if we just supply that demand because of the knowledge in which and the passion in which you're putting it out there, I mean, that's this whole point of this is just getting that information back into the hands of our, of our caregivers, our nurturers, our parents, our children. We are amazingly designed to overcome everything that we're challenged with, and I don't think that this is any different.
I agree. So good. It's just so simple, and that's and I think it's life changing for so many people that get to hear this broadcast and get to implement these simple solutions into their life, and just give themselves a fighting chance, because we're all doing what we need to do to stay away from each other because we care about each other, and so
right.
and it's just
There's a lot that we can do together, but right now we're asked to do it apart. Now we have to have we have to have contact with one another. This is wonderful, because we couldn't have done this 20 years ago, right?
right. I know, it's awesome.
And yet we get the opportunity to share with with anybody willing to tap on the link to be able to share. And my greatest passion has always been to teach that single parent who can't afford an organic diet to begin with, but can't not afford to put this balance back into themselves and their growing children for literally pennies on the dollar. And that's what we're talking about here, is that it doesn't, and with the way that the stock market is going, I know there's a lot of fear that way too, and a lot of concern that way. Well, to me personally, again, it'll all work itself out, but we have to have our health. We have to have our lives in order to be able to bypass, this obstacle and be able to, resume life the way that we
Well, because not everybody can stay away. Like my husband's a police officer.
Correct.
First responders, firemen can't stay away. They can't stay secluded. They have to help people. Nurses and doctors, they have to help people. And so if you have those kind of people in your family, like I do, my husband is one. I'm guarding him every day. He leaves with a big old thing of water loaded down with minerals in it,
Correct.
to be able to just to be efficient and help others, and then keep his health healthy so that he doesn't come home and bring anything home to our family,
Correct.
and then,
Correct.
I'm keeping our family, on the loaded up and working out and having a great time. There's my whole family's sleeping in right. Well, not my whole family. My husband's at work, but my kids are sleeping in right now. They're loving this break. They're not having,
Right.
but,
I think some simple ways that we can overcome this is that, one, make sure that if you're not a water drinker, make it enjoyable. Do things, spice it up so that you enjoy it. And when I say spice it, do it with fruits. Even do it with vegetables. Chopping up some cucumbers in water makes it very refreshing. I know it sounds
electrolyte packets that you guys have.
Yes. I was just going to mention that.
That's part of my hydration packaging, is the packets with the drops, because most people like to have some flavor in their water.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's a great way. We have 13 different flavors. Mm-hmm. Just come out with the 14th, which is a keto packet, just to let you know. So, we have available, we have products in this line from an electrolyte standpoint that will reach any consumer at any level as far as delivery system, whether it be taste preference or tablets or liquids or, powders or tableted effervescence. I mean, this has always been a very important matter to us. It's not just, and remember, that's one thing about these electrolytes. Oftentimes our aging population think, well, I'm not an athlete. I don't, therefore they're not for me. No, you misunderstand. We lose 2.5 to 3 cups of body fluid a day just by living.
Yeah. Through
respiration, perspiration, urination, defecation. And if we're not putting if we're not hydrating the body on a daily basis, guess what? Your body has to rob the cells, the tissues, the organs, and eventually the bone just to maintain the homeostasis of the blood. So we need to thrive. And in this environment right now where fear seems to be the conqueror, we need to overcome by thriving and moving and doing, and start with the basics that, again, a glass of water before a meal.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we'll reduce the calories that we intake because it makes us feel a little bit full before a meal. Great way to put that water in. But at the same time, there's been research shown, which makes sense to me, that if we carry a bottle of water with us, we consume more, we hydrate better. Well, guess what? If it's on our person and we're carrying it, whether it's in our, of course, right there, it's always there, it's always available. And to me, taking those electrolytes to taste preference is key. So make it enjoyable. Let's start with us today, because it has to start with us.
Well,
and of course,
what I say to parents all the time is, so many parents struggle with getting their kids to eat good food. It's a number one thing. How do you get them to eat your veggies and da-da-da? Well, back in my day, we just made them, but
right.
But I'm serious. Like, a friend of mine just bought some of the electrolytes for me the other day when I was at her house. She was like, I need that for my kids. That she's going to put it in their water, and they don't even know they're getting it, and so
right.
They're
perfect way to do it
with, getting the nourishment that kids need. You got to eat your fruits and veggies, because that's where your nourishment comes from, right? Well, if you can't get the kids to do it, which a lot of people struggle with that, then you just put it in their water. They don't even know it. Put it in their juice in the morning. They won't even know it, That's what I do.
With our aging parents, we can put it into soups.
Yeah.
Make it enjoyable that way. Put it in after the heating process. You can put it and spice it up. Their soups with it, or their protein shakes or smoothies. I don't care how you get it in, as long as you're getting it in, so that we can protect, especially our parents and our grandparents right now, because that seems to be that age group that seems to be most affected here. But like I said, the number one thing I want to get across today is that hydration and electrolytes help the detoxification and especially protect those lungs. And there's nothing more vital right now than protecting our respiratory system.
That's so good, because that's what this virus does. It attacks the respiratory system. So
Yep.
stay hydrated, right? That's it. I mean, it's that simple.
It's that simple.
I hope that
And,
we're
and, and we're,
with this. Oh, I'm sorry.
oh, no, no, go ahead.
I said, I just hope that we're able to get this out to as many people as possible and just calm people's fears, because that, I feel like, is a mission of mine. Like, just to enjoy life and calm your fears, and don't freak out in this time. It's not, we have
No,
solutions. We have
no,
solutions. Jmar has the solution. That was kind of cool.
that's right. That's right.
I mean, it's just, the solution is to trust God. Number one, that's for me. I believe that that's something that we all need to just, like, we're relying on our own selves so much, because that's what we do. We're just like, we've been disrupted so much. Like you said, we don't have the sports on anymore. We're not inundated with things that we're usually inundated with. Right. And we're all having to be stuck at home. So it's kind of opening us up to more things that I think will be more helpful.
I think that what this should do for us is bring us closer together as families.
Amen.
It should give us an opportunity to self-evaluate where we need to make our changes,
Mm-hmm.
right? We'll have plenty of time to think. But remember, in this case right now, basics, going back to the beer, just the most basic stance against this will keep our bodies healthy and strong and ready for the battle.
It's so good. That's so good. Thank you, Dr. Starkey. I appreciate you so much. I know you have so much on your plate. And so when I reached out to you, I was just so excited that you were wanting and willing. That tells me where your heart is, that your heart is
Oh,
with people. You've always been a genuine, authentic person. And I've been blessed by you being in my life. And I appreciate you sacrificing your time to just educate us all and just help us all be better and be able to stay healthy in this uncertain time that we're in.
oh, absolutely. No, I love your passion, Jennifer. And I love that, you're going to change the world with that passion, because you've never, we all go through ups and downs. And, I stopped just recently to go back through my notes and my journals that I've kept over the years, and having represented this company for the past 29 years and what we've been through in that time frame, whether it be the swine's flu or the bird's flu or the SARS virus or this will pass.
Mm-hmm.
This will pass. But I would say that, again, we have to protect against that emotional trauma that this will cause, just as much as the physical trauma. So going back and of course, sharing your passion and your willingness to put it out there and help people understand just the basics, I think will go so far. And I hope that in the future we'll see the benefits from their, willingness to hydrate themselves and their families.
Right. I agree. Thank you so much. So good. I'm blessed by you. So I think that's all we got for now. Is there anything you want to, I think that's a great way to end,
Yeah.
Just
Stick
protect.
to the basics. Stick to the basics. Do what they've asked. Separate ourselves, no matter how hard it seems. But this is all precautionary. This is just to try to stop the advancement. So at least we're making that. We're bringing think about this right now, Jennifer. Everything that we do in our livelihood up to this point has always been a reactive response. We don't respond until we're sick. Now we're taking a proactive response. And I listened to it just recently, everything we've been preparing for. I mean, we can order things from our couch and never leave our couch. We watch movies ongoing. We brag about the series that we can watch at the touch of a button. We never leave our homes. And now that we're asked to stay in our homes, I start hearing complaints and worries. Well, no, this is preparatory for the fact that now we have to keep ourselves. But I would say that go back to the basics, stick with the basics. They've worked since creation began. They were there for a purpose and a reason. It all begins with our common sense, breathing, keep breathing, but keep hydrating and put that good nutrition in.
Amen to that. All right. Well, that's all we've got for now, guys. Just know that we care about you, and we just appreciate you listening in. Share this episode with your friends and family so that they can guard their body, guard their mind, guard their soul, and just protect themselves from the the viruses and bacteria that are out there. Just, yeah, that's all I got for now. Take care. Bye.
Thanks, Jennifer. Bye-bye.